What's up, everyone? Matt here with another Who Are They Real Review, and today I'm here to talk to you about the latest Mark Wahlberg film, Joe Bell. Joe Bell is a story about a father trying to redeem himself after the loss of his son, who came out as gay and ended up committing suicide. And he decides to take a walk from where they live in Oregon across the country to New York City. And this is all based on a true story. And honestly, I felt that this film should have worked better than it did. It's an anti-bullying film. It's an LGBTQ plus film. It's a positive message, and it's honestly a heartbreaking story. I'm not gonna default that at all. However, there is some history at this film. This film originally premiered this past year in 2020 at the Toronto International Film Festival, and they decided to recut it and push it for a February release to try to get it some awards buzz, and then they pushed it back even further to this summer. Overall, I enjoyed this film enough. I guess that's the best way to say it. I enjoyed the film enough. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but it's an hour and a half, and I felt like there was more that could have been told. I do want to say Reid Miller, who plays his son Jaden, breath of fresh air. Great performance. Really believable. Loved it. Gary Sinise has this amazing conversation with Mark Wahlberg's Joe Bell towards the end of the film. Loved it. Mark Wahlberg's character, Joe Bell, and again, this is based on a true story. He's a dick. He's just a dick. He's a flat out dick. And I found it hard for myself. I found it hard to end up rooting for him towards the end of it, because sure, he's taking this transformative journey, and it didn't sit. Granted, this recut, my guess is in this recut, they decided to make this more of a non-linear story, because they intercut between the past and what is the present of this film. So my guess is originally this is probably one linear story, and they decided we can make it more powerful if we keep cutting back and forth between the two, which honestly, if that's the case, that worked. I didn't get to see the original Toronto International Film Festival cut, but that's just my guess. But I felt like almost anyone here who performed with Mark Wahlberg, even Connie Britton, acted circles around him. And Mark Wahlberg never put me in a position where I felt like I could root for Joe Bell, because and this is in the trailer, and this is prominent in the movie. There's at one point he's at this diner, and these two men walk in, and there's something about gay pride on the television. Like, look at those fairies. It's like, excuse me? And he decides, I'm just not going to eat at this establishment. Says sorry to the woman there. And Jaden, or the ghost of Jaden, who's along with Joe throughout this journey, says, well, you told me to just kick the people who are giving me a hard time's ass. Why don't you go do that? You're being a hypocrite right now. Instead, you just gave him a card, said, hey, go educate yourselves, and walked out the door. They didn't do that. What's that going to do? And he's absolutely right. So ultimately, I found myself wanting more of that anti-bullying message from this film than I got. And I feel like it's supposed to be a story about forgiveness. There's one scene where you find out that one of the kids who bullied Jaden left an apology note. And Mark Wahlberg overacts in that situation to me. And it was, he flips out and said, those boys caused my son's death. It's too late to apologize now. It's not going to do anything to him. He's not going to do anything for me. He's gone. What am I? And it's like, yeah, but when you start taking that out on the rest of your family, I just expected and wanted so much more from this. And ultimately, I'm giving it a 3. Joe Bell is a 3. It's definitely a decent flick. I would say when you're watching this, you're going for Reid Miller and Gary Sinise's performance, even though Gary Sinise is only in it for about 2 scenes. He makes the biggest impact to me. So go check out this film if you want. I do say you should, because we need to support LGBTQ plus stories out there. And yeah, you go see Joe Bell. Go see the story about a father and son and this redemption story. And tell me what you think, because your opinion might be different than mine. So tell me what you think. Joe Bell in theaters tomorrow. And once again, I'm Matt, and this is another Who Are They Real Review.